Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of HR Storybook. Today, we have with us the father of the literal modern HR community in India, one of the pioneers of HRD in India, and who has brought the terminology human resource through the Indian nation. Please welcome Dr. T.V. Rao. Hello, Dr.
Thank you.
Rao.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Nishat.
much. Thank you so much for doing this with us, and thank you so much for gracing our platform with your presence.
Oh, nice of you. You seem to be doing great work. Very wonderful. Very nice to see how you are trying to impact the HR world and the business world in terms of the software in HR, people
Thank
doing HR.
I mean, coming from you, that truly means a lot to us, to the entire company of KK. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Rao. We have read a lot about you, right? We have read your blogs, your books, a
Thank you.
lot of your interviews we have watched, right?
Thank
I
you.
think the one question that comes to my mind is something about your personal life as well. Accomplishments in your career helped you shape your personal life as well.
Oh, that's very, very difficult. I actually don't find much of a difference between personal life and profession. They're totally mixed in the sense that whatever happens in work, I think is known to the family, and whatever there is not much that happens in the family. Religions of shame. I think that's one of the advantages of being in a behavioral scientist because you observe behavior, reflect about it, and share with people. So it's very difficult to say that there is any great impact of one life on that. But you have to think through. Certainly, professional life does give you a lot of self-respect. It does give you whenever you accomplish something. And your personal life, I think, whatever stories you observe, both. Sometimes you get a sense of failure that I'm able to teach everyone, but I can't impact my own children at home. You know, that is always
Makes sense.
a issue that comes in. But just to answer in one line, professional life does impact personal life. It gives you a sense of satisfaction, and when you're happy, then you're happy as a parent, as happy as a spouse, and happy as also a son to your mother, and so on.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Dr. Rao, we heard and obviously we have read that you first brought the HRD system and everything in Larsen and Toubro, right? So, how was the situation back then? And what made you think that bringing the human resource department to this specific company would be the right?
Well, actually, in 1974, when Dr. Parikh and I started working with the Larsen and Toubro, there was no HR. The
Right.
term was not there. There was only personnel department. Personnel department were doing a great job
Correct.
in terms of welfare, in terms of employee relations, in terms of making sure that employees get their transportation, health, insurance, all those kind of things. So there was a lot of administration. Performance appraisals were confidential. Uh, Only in exceptional cases, people were told that they are not doing a good job. Particularly in public sector, there was a rule that only if you get less than 33% out of, out of 100, you are given a feedback. Otherwise, you don't even
Not.
know.
Okay.
And many managers use it to put deliberately 34 when they didn't like somebody. So the
They
person
don't
doesn't
really have
get
to
to
tell.
know. And uh, the company has its own kind of a way. Training and development used to be very much a part of the personnel department. So it was a good administration, industrial relations, and people management. That is the benefit. So when we talk to people, I think it is the managers in L&T who raised a whole lot of questions, which made us think that there is a need for people to be made more happy and committed to work, and also in a systemic way for building their competencies. Days we didn't use the term competencies, we use the term attributes. And also, this is our conceptualization. There should also be a culture building. So, competence, culture, commitment building. I think that is how we formulated the term. We felt that personnel department is not able to do justice to creating uh, commitment for the business of the organization. So that is the kind of a situation, and that is why we coined the term. It's actually looking back, one most important thing we have talked of is making people to be happy so that they can be productive and they can help the business to prosper.
Absolutely,
That is how
absolutely.
we
The people are your, most vital
absolutely
assets, right? So making
Mm,
sure that they are happy and they are
yeah,
in the best of the caliber is very important.
correct.
Makes sense.
I still
Doctor,
remember the day when Uday Parikh and I was sitting in Taj Mahal Hotel in Bombay, putting
okay,
all our notes
together,
from the
yeah.
people, including A.M. Naik was one of those whom I interviewed. He was a manager, senior manager at the time.
Okay.
And then we said that whatever we want uh, the personnel department to accomplish, the current personnel department won't be able to do. So we create a new department. It's where we call human resource focus on development.
Oh,
Development was not the concern of
right,
personnel.
right.
It's
I mean, that
management, routine
broad.
management.
I mean, there are so many things that, honestly, I can speak about with you.
Yeah,
But then another question that I would like to bring forward is that you spoke about what the scenario was back in 1974 when you first brought HRD
right.
to Larsen and Toubro. What are your thoughts about the current situation of HR and of even businesses for that matter in organizations?
The current situation of HR is totally different as compared to, I think, those years. And particularly, the pandemic has brought in a lot of change in our thinking. Today, I think the there's nothing which is not in the scope of HR. Everything is in the scope of HR. You can think of HR at the national context. The nation is people. So
Absolutely.
people
Again,
development.
yeah,
So HR is vast. And if you look at in the business context, the job of HR people is not anymore limited to employees. It goes beyond, it goes to customers. And
yes,
somebody like you, who is also dealing with customers, know
right.
it goes to the stakeholder, it goes to the community, it goes to the families.
Yeah.
So HR's business has expanded quite a lot, like in those days where we were satisfied helping people to plan their performance, link their work with the organizational goals. But today, I think it is life. So to me,
Absolutely
today, I think
true.
to me, HR is life. And it is without having a larger perspective of life, it's very difficult to think of HR. That is one of the most important things which we have to teach HR managers.
True.
So you are helping people to live their lives, not
Very true.
merely
Yeah.
achieve
Not merely their
targets
life in the
in the
organization or something per
organization.
se,
That's
right?
right.
I
That's
mean, this truly brings me to the point of how far are, tools or technology for that matter, helping the HRs help people, in general live their life then. How are tools coming into the picture?
well, if you are asking me or a group of us, including the National HRD Network, I think it is question worth reflecting about.
Correct.
Are we doing enough? There is a
Correct.
lot more to be done. But I think the world has its own way of managing this. If you look at all the seminars that are going on across the world, today's focus is on mental health and making employees healthy.
Correct.
Because if you don't have employee health, you can't achieve anything.
Correct.
So I think to a large extent, society is taking care of itself. But as far as we are concerned, both as professors, as HR professionals, as professional bodies of HRD Network, NIPM, ISCD, all these bodies, I think they are trying their best to be sensitive to the opportunities created by the new world of work
Correct.
and therefore the role they have to perform. They're slowly, fortunately, moving away from looking to HR in a narrow way as only target achievement, business building, and things like that. I think it is life because if you look at any business, all businesses are meant to serve people. So we
Absolutely.
are in a profession which serves people. So I
I
think
mean,
it is, but we should do a lot more. And that
absolutely.
is where maybe I think whatever you chaps are doing using AI and other technology is a great source to bring more happiness in life. But
Right.
of course, there's always a question mark. Will technology also fall into the same rut into which other things have fallen? Then you have targets and you want to achieve targets at any cost and forget about life. I mean, there is
Absolutely.
always a question like that.
Totally agree with that because, obviously the future nobody has
Yes,
truly said.
absolutely.
I mean, that brings me to the point of, where do you think human resource department or organizations for that matter will be in the next 5 to 10 years? Because obviously we have seen how COVID has changed the scenario completely, right? And that was within 2 years. So what do you think the next 5 to 10 years will look like for organizations?
First, let me ask the question in a different way. Where do I think they should be? And then I
Right.
can come to where do I think that they are likely to be.
Right.
Likely to be, then I guess. Where they think, where I think they should be, I think the world is wide open for them. And today, if you, I consider to be in a HR is a boon that you have received because I've written this book, Effective People, where I have talked
Right.
about uh, where defined an effective person as one who discovers his or her talent, uses the talent to make a difference in the lives of other people. So I think the latest edition I called it as Damn Your Talent. Damn means discover your talent, apply the talent, multiply the talent. That is
Okay.
what you should
Okay.
be. Now, this is applicable to all sectors. In the book, I've talked of doctors, social workers, professors, uh, and not industrialists, but a few of the bankers and so on. Industrialists because we have written other kinds. Why I'm saying all of this is where HR should be. HR should therefore use this as an opportunity to impact lives of people. First, definitely in the organizations, impact lives of people in the organizations. But when I say impact people in the organizations, which means impact people who work as employees in the organization, their families, their communities, the stakeholders, managing directors, the board, and the society at large. Now,
So,
it's very difficult. Right now, we
yeah.
are even not doing enough. Now, where
Right.
we are still focused on employees. We
True.
are not going beyond.
Yeah.
And I also see quite a bit of conflict between HR people because people like Dave Ulrich and others will keep telling us HR is a business partner. Therefore, you should be concerned about business. Therefore, you should achieve the contribute to the profits, which I entirely agree. But you are only, if you see your job as only contributing to profits, that is the job of everyone else. Why do you, as a HR person, have to be doing that?
Correct.
You should contribute to the quality of life, to help people to contribute to the profits, if it
Correct.
make
Very
people
true.
happy. So I think today we have not still gotten off the dilemma of resolving targets versus life, making, helping people to enjoy life so that they can achieve the targets. I think that is where it probably is. Next 5 years, hopefully, with the help of technology, we may start discovering a little more of life in organizations and integrate life with organization.
True.
I
Yeah.
hope so. I
Yeah.
hope so. I think it is possible. Uh, but I put a question mark. I'm not very sure for the simple reason that there is always a pressure from the top management on HR people to achieve targets.
Correct.
Everything is targeted,
Correct.
including, I think, the kind of matrices I am seeing on recruitment. There are some 22 matrices in recruitment, and people are only worried about meeting these matrices rather than making sure you get the right kind of a fellow who will enjoy the work, who contribute, and who would not think of leaving the company.
Correct. Very
I
true.
think otherwise it becomes a part of the metrics. I
Right.
think people come, join, leave, then you add to the
Yeah. Yeah.
statistics. We have a long way to go.
Correct.
I would say we have a long way to go, but this needs a lot of thinking on the part of HR. They should become more of discoverers, creators of value in terms of life, soft kind of things, and rather than merely looking at targets, profits, and all, which is certainly important for
Fun.
a CEO. I can go on, Nishad.
I mean, I would love to
I
know
think
everything.
being a professor,
No, I mean, the more the merrier, right? The more knowledge, the better it is. But then I would want to know this one point, this one last point from
yeah,
you is
sure.
that, any advice that you would like to give all the HR professionals, students aspiring to become HRs, or even the CEOs and founders who are, running their businesses right now?
Well, first of all, I want to say that HR is the job of everyone. It's not only those who are designated as HR people. I think those days are gone. To me, the most important in the business context, most important HR person is the CEO himself or herself. And you are the first CHRO of the company you are in. Because without people, you can't achieve anything.
Very
Number one. Number two, if you happen to be in HR department, I think thank God because you are lucky to be born and titled as HR because somebody has given on a platter uh, this HR title to you, designation to you, not necessarily only HR. You can be called talent manager, all kinds of programs,
Right.
designations of all I mean this. So you should thank people. This is a great opportunity. Focus on having people enjoy their work.
Correct.
It's very important for people to enjoy the work and see how work and life are integrated. If you ask me about my own life, that is what you started with. I
Right.
think for me, both are integrated. I enjoyed every bit of whatever I've done. Writing a book is enjoyment, disseminating is enjoyment, working as a chairman of the postgraduate program is enjoyment, starting HRD network is enjoyment.
Absolutely.
Everything is. So it's true with every employee, whether you are in HR or logistics or production or marketing. I think organizations are beautiful platforms for you to express yourself, for you to help other people. So link whatever you're doing. So this is my advice. Think and link whatever you are doing uh, with life in general and enjoy every bit of what you are doing. I think
Lovely.
work is, I think that is what I would say. Don't search for, I want to get a satisfying job. Rather, you should say, how do I make my job satisfying?
Satisfying.
I think that is very important because you are searching for a satisfying job. You will not be able to, no job is satisfying. I'm sure you can ask the Prime Minister, Art of Arts, he would also say, I don't think
Absolutely. I mean, I think every job has its pros and
every
cons.
job
Definitely.
has. I think
So,
you should learn to enjoy the job. That is
yeah,
for youngsters. And then the other recommendation I would make is please read. People are giving habits of reading.
true.
If you
Very
don't
true.
read, it doesn't matter. Watch movies.
Yeah.
The other day I was watching a very interesting movie. I'm sure I would recommend this for people. Shrikant.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you know it.
I have
Living in
watched it.
Hyderabad,
Yeah.
what wonderful thing the Shrikant.
Yes.
When you see a movie like that, you get inspired.
Absolutely.
Or when you read books. Now, in the book that I have written, I've talked of a young man at 23 filed 23 patents. Or this person, Divya Rao, who came to IIM Ahmedabad and went through a lecture where one of the professors said, there are no Indians who made Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, such brands. Indians are not capable.
Oh,
She said, I'll show it to you. And she started Rameshwaram, which has
oh,
already become a
right.
famous thing.
Chain of cafes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there is another boy who was while doing IIT. He wrote a book on the restaurants he was visiting.
Okay.
He came to IIM Ahmedabad. He was listening to lectures and he wrote a book on all the lectures he heard
Oh, wow.
and make it available to people. So these are all, I've mentioned all these in my
Yeah.
book. These are all wonderful things. When you read, you get inspired and you want to be like them. You want to discover your, So my advice is that all of us are born talented. Explore your talent, discover your talent, apply it, and get the best out of it. So
Right.
that is long advice.
But that was a lovely brilliant thing. And I think the one part that stood out for me was the think and link part.
Yes.
Right. And it holds true, especially for today's generation.
Okay.
Correct? Because a lot of times, a lot of decisions have to be made, and keeping in mind their personal lives, obviously as well. Right? They can probably get inspired from something of that sort and apply the same thing in the professional life. They can think and link in different situations. Correct. With that, Dr. Rao, we come to the end of our discussion today. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for sharing your knowledge, your perceptions, and all that you have achieved over the years, your experiences. The most important thing of them all was that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you. So I look forward to also listening to some of the other stories that you have done. That will be very
I'll do
nice.
that.
Yeah.
I'll absolutely do that. I'll send that to you. So yeah, with that, we are ending the discussion for today. Thank you so much for everybody who's watching the show right now, and we'll come back with the next episode of HR Stories.